So, Ms. Vessel, you're here for several reasons. You also, it looks like, have a fugitive case.
This is an aggravated sexual assault of a child.
I know that you're going to tell me it's gumdrops and rainbows and that you're always walking around with a halo.
Welcome to Bench Report Court Cam.
Okay. Good morning.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you? So, well, the last name was with a V, right? Vessel, right. All right. So, Ms. Vessel, you're here for several reasons. It looks like you've picked up two cases with us. You've picked up a criminal mischief, failure to identify oneself as a fugitive from justice. So on that one, you're facing up to a year. On the mischief, you're facing up to 6 months. But you also, it looks like, have a fugitive case. It looks like
for 2 counts of simple robbery.
is that how you understand it? So wanted out of East Baton Rouge for 2 counts of simple robbery. Are you waiving formal extradition on those 2 cases?
All I know is I want to do the 14-day thing.
Then you must waive.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Now, has she made bond on the new cases or no?
She has not made bond on the criminal mischief and the failure.
So
That's correct.
here's the kicker. You have not made bond on those cases. So essentially, that 14 days is told, meaning it's put on hold until you either take care of these cases or you make bond on those cases. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So I guess, and are you appointed on those other 2 cases as well? So the lucky thing is that you're in this court with those 2 cases, so perhaps you guys can, but we'll put the waiver in file. So as soon as all that's taken care of, the 14 days will kick in. All right? I'll have him explain it to you.
Okay, so
Just like what I explained earlier, is that these 2 local cases are going to prevent you from being transported. And until these cases are either resolved or you post bond, they wouldn't be able to transport you because you still have a local claim.
so I wouldn't be able to get a PR bond on these 2 cases.
Even if you get a PR bond on these 2 cases, you would still be stuck in custody on your fugitive case. Unless you posted a bond on your fugitive case as well.
What you mean?
So
Oh, until the
even
14
if-
days?
yeah,
Or
even if
14 days is just kind of stopped
Right.
until you take care of the 2 new cases.
Okay, meaning
Once you take care of those 2 new cases, by either 2 ways, you either dispose of it by pleading guilty or you post bond on those cases. If one of those 2 things happen, then the 14 days starts running for East Baton Rouge to come get you.
I can get credit for time served on me during
I'll
this.
talk to the prosecutor.
He'll talk to you about that. I can't talk to you about that now, but he can talk to you about it.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So we need her please to sign.
She can't sign it here.
Okay, that's okay. All right. All right. Good luck, Ms. Vessel.
Pronounce your last name again.
Ginder?
Kinder?
Ginder?
Ginder.
Good morning, Mr. Ginder. All right. Sorry, the computer's being wonky. All right. So I see that you're wanted out of Bucks, Pennsylvania on a parole violation.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
2 underlying cases.
So the fact that he's been on this same fugitive case twice more in your court works both in and against my favor. Before my time in general litigation, there were 2 prior other prosecutors.
Here we go, flexing the muscle.
Well,
I'm just
one of
kidding.
them was me. One of them was me. But for the 3, 2 prior ones were dismissed, and he keeps getting arrested on the same warrant, and they keep not picking him up. I had Amy call the.
This is going to happen eternally for you, Mr. Ginder, until you go back to Pennsylvania. You will continue to get arrested over and over and over. It doesn't require you to say anything. I'm just giving you a heads up that warrant will be there for the rest of your natural born life until you take care of it. If you're 72, you will still get picked up and sit in jail for how do we go forward?
So this is one of those unusual situations. There is no pre-signed waiver, so he has a right
The
to.
parole case?
Some states, including ours, they just don't have it in their clause for their parole. But I've had Amy call, and she was only able to reach the supervisor for the deputy that actually handles his specific warrant.
But Dave, don't we have enough people in jail, number one? And if they don't care enough to pick them up over and over,
So one of them, I was explaining to Ricardo, the first, and I could be wrong, I haven't checked my notes, but one of them might have been around COVID. And so I know a lot of them weren't picking up. Nobody can fault for that. But the other ones, I don't know. And that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not trying to present anything in court that I don't have. But conversely, he's had considerable amount of time to cure his warrant. And so that's why I said, like, it works for and against me. Is obviously I don't like them playing games.
what do you want?
For me, I would like to get a hold of the supervisor there and figuring out what happened the other times, but we've just been unsuccessful this morning. And that's the issue.
Hey, I get it. Do you want to perhaps roll it to tomorrow? See if it gives you enough time? Hey,
In at the door.
I'm with you. It's
I know.
it's maddening that someone continues to get picked up and they don't care. Either release the hold or come do your job. I mean, really.
Because we do have ones where they release it locally, where they teletype that they won't enforce it in certain jurisdictions or just contiguous ones. And so I don't have an answer to present the court. I mean,
Let's roll it to tomorrow. We're going to try to get to the bottom of it, Mr. Gimbel or Ginder. But regardless, that warrant, until you take care of it, is going to eternally be out there forever and a day. And if you like to continue to get arrested, but at some point it must get tiring, right?
All right, we'll roll it to the morning.
So let's roll it to tomorrow. I will tell you this, that I mean,
I know, and that's where I'm at as well. And so I'll see if I can I'll keep going up the chain until somebody answers. That's all I can do.
yeah, good luck, Day. I know how diligent you are.
Hey, Judge.
We approach?
Of course.
Any chance we could get Mr. Ginder out?
I mean, I guess if you only have 4 people, right?
What's that?
I
If you only have
can't,
4 people, you have 48
can't
contiguous
because I didn't
states.
admonish him about
You're
it.
trying to get
No,
everybody.
it wouldn't be fair.
Just in terms of the roadmap, there's only so much ground you can cover within 14 days. This is
Within
assuming,
14 days?
well, assuming safety, medical, and actually not filling up the vehicle. So let's assume 4 to 6 some odd people in one load. You're going what, 500, 600 some odd miles? You can only pick up so many people before it becomes a safety issue, actual safety issue. I don't know the answer.
They fly people, don't they? Don't they fly people with knives?
The U.S. Marshals does.
Oh, not,
It's mostly ground transportation.
okay. I watch too many movies.
Yeah.
Con Air.
Right?
We are a poor state government.
Good morning, Mr. Ginder. Good morning, Your Honor.
So
What's the word, Thunderbird?
I have an update, but it's not a good one. So, and credit to Amy, she's been mostly following up, but I was able to speak with the deputy sheriff in Bucks County. And right now they're spread so thin, they have no way of picking up before even the 30 statutory days. They have 4 people spread out and they have priority cases. And I explained to the sheriff's officer, like, this isn't a capital murder. This is an aggravated sexual assault of a child. This is a theft by taking. And so priority wise regarding the charge is they're just unable to accommodate. They're trying to get adult probation to figure out if there's another way to do it. But for this warrant, just be forthcoming, is that this isn't one they're going to be able to. But also it presents the issue is they're not going to recall the warrant. They still want him. They're just physically unable to do it within the statutory period. So this isn't even a discretion thing. They're just unable to do so. So
Just because we still have to follow the law.
right. And so we're stuck in this quagmire where he's going to just keep getting arrested because the warrant's still going to be live. Like, he could leave today and get arrested this afternoon. It's just going to keep happening. And
Well,
so,
look, you can lead a horse to water,
right.
as the saying goes. You already know that even if you get released today, that warrant will be eternally out there until you go back and take care of it. Every time you get arrested, how many days are you missing in your life? 20, 30 days every single time. So the right thing to do is go back.
But I mean, that's also why he keeps getting arrested, is because every time they believe that they have the capacity to do it, and then suddenly they realize they have holiday pickups and they have other things that take priority. So that's why the warrant is still being validated, is because they think this time they can make it within.
What are you going to do?
So this one, I mean, because they've already related, and I'm relating to the court that they're unable to, is I'm not agreed to a bond, but I'm not opposed to a bond. I mean, ultimately, when it runs out the date, we run out the date, and I'm still waiting. Legally,
So
I'm waiting for.
you're not going to nullify it though, I guess.
I'm going to wait until I get a final confirmation from adult probation there, because they're the actual, just like for the DA's office here, for our warrants, is they're the final decider of how they want to handle the warrant. And apparently it takes a little bit of time for them to respond to the sheriff's office there. And I'm not going to waste this court's time if they're not going to respond.
Have we had him here before?
We've had him 3 times before. And so he was
Have
arrested.
we ever given him a bond?
No, we've dismissed, I believe, before it came to that. And like I said, 2 of them were before my time, before I joined general litigation. So I can't speak to when Katie and Stan did it, but at least for myself, is we dismissed it before that became a scenario.
Judge, my understanding is he was held until they maxed out their time, and then he was released 3 times.
Sure, of course. I guess that was implied, but what,
Right. It's not a day of, he's released. They max out, they
Sure.
don't get extra time. So he sat down 3 times for this. 14 days, 3 times, so 45 days when they're not coming.
at the end of the day, it's one person. That's right.
And so
I mean, it's not.
And I told him, hey, he's going to say, what's the difference this time? And he tells me he's got the funds.
No. I'm going to set a bond for him now. I'm going to give him a bond.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I mean, there's no sense in keeping you in custody when we know they're not going to come, right? But like I said, if you don't go back, this is going to continue to happen. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So it would behoove you to get back there as soon as possible, take care of it, so you can be done with it once and for all, and go on with your life. Really, it's nonsensical to keep getting arrested and you sit 14 days every single time. I mean, we're working 3 times now. Really. Now, begs the question, what's the bond amount?
For the court, like I said, if it wasn't a parole violation, I'd probably be more comfortable just giving a number and being agreed to one. But in the end, I understand the transportation difficulties, but ultimately it is a parole violation. And so that's why I can't agree to one. I'm just not opposed to one.
Judge, I think the issue is going to be him having somebody to come and actually post a bond for him. This is a situation where they're not dismissing the case, that therefore you need somebody to come.
I'm going to give you a PR bond.
Oh, fantastic. Then.
You know, I mean, there's no sense in keeping someone in custody when we know that they're not going to come. It's just, it's not fair.
PR bond, I would ask for a $300 PR bond.
You know what you have to do.
Yes, sir.
Go back, get it done once and for all. I'm going to give you a PR bond now, but I'm going to tell you one time, I'm not going to continue to play this game. If you act like a child, well, we're going to treat you like a child. We're not asking for much. I'm going to give you a PR bond now, but this is a fugitive case. You get 1 shot. Normally, when we have people that come back on multiple fugitive cases, we don't continue to give PR bonds. We don't continue to do this. I'm going to do it now because he's already indicated that they're not going to come get you. But if you get arrested again, and if it continues to happen, you're old enough to know actions have consequences. So does the failure to act. You understand, Mr. Ginder?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll give him a PR bond now, and then just let them know.
January
Just,
2nd is 14 days. Well,
Okay.
plus the 1 date for release.
but I mean, I'm releasing him now.
Right. What I mean is in terms of directives to return, because the PR bond is still within the context of the fugitive case, and so releasing for the
So
bond.
I'm
is still-
ordering you to go back to this jurisdiction, to go either turn yourself in or go post bond. Where is it, Mr. Kim?
Pennsylvania, Bucks County.
You must either go turn yourself in or post bond in that jurisdiction. If you do that, that will take care of this fugitive case. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you don't, this warrant, this nationwide warrant, will be out there for eternity. Okay?
Understood.
Done.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
So bond set at 300, Ricardo, and PR bond.
PR bond.
Yeah.
Judge Fleischer,
Yes,
you guys need to refuse first.
Oh, that's
I'm gonna
true.
come back.
Withdrawal waiver. He still waived, so you still have to sign. No, not him. You have to sign the withdrawal.
Oh, okay. Judge, another fugitive case, it's Mr. Diepa.
Last name?
Diepa, D-I-E.
I see it.
Huh.
What would you like?
I'd ask for a bond, Judge, so he could go and turn himself in out in Oklahoma. It's Creek County, Oklahoma.
Creek County.
Yeah, Creek County. Oklahoma.
They're bringing him out.
They're bringing him out right now.
Talk.
Yes, Judge, thank you.
It's fine, because these ones, I really don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go.
It sounds bad, but if you think about it, it could be
Well,
something simple.
if I had more information, I feel
Yeah.
like I'd have a better chance, but I
You
don't.
want more time?
I don't think it's good. Well, no,
You're not
because-
going to get more?
no, but because it's in my favor, and that's the issue. It's ironic. I can't get more time because more time means I win. So, well, and winning by default isn't.
Mr. Kim is so great,
I just,
really. He just could clone you.
I don't.
Good morning, Mr. Is it Diepa?
Buenos días.
Good morning.
Mr. Diepa, you are wanted out of the state of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
I think it's Creek County, Oklahoma, for embezzlement.
I'm so sorry. Embezzlement. Me olvidó la palabra. Pero, toma.
Quedaste con un cargo que no fue tuyo. Tienes el cargo de
I guess misappropriating.
I'm so sorry.
La diferencia es que
Desapropiar.
te dan la propiedad y luego te quedas con ella. No se lo quitaste a nadie,
Ya,
te lo dieron.
ya.
Es propiedad.
Your lawyer is asking for me to set you a bond. I don't know. I've never met you before.
Lo he conocido.
I don't know who you are.
No sé quién es.
The only way that I get to know you in this very short time is by looking at you on paper, because that will tell me who you really are.
¿Quién es?
I know that you're going to tell me it's gumdrops and rainbows and that you're always walking around with a halo. But really, what matters is on paper, because it tells us how we get to know you, essentially.
Sí, sí.
So, Mr. Kim, tell us about Mr. Diepa, please.
I couldn't find any other criminal
No encontré
history
ningún otro antecedente criminal
for the defendant.
para acusado.
However,
Sin embargo,
Oklahoma has confirmed they will be picking him up tomorrow.
Van a levantar mañana.
So I'd be opposed to a bond because the transportation is already here. If they're picking him up tomorrow, that means they've already landed in Houston today. And it's a guaranteed transport back.
Transporte garantizado.
And for that reason, I would be
Y
opposed
por
to a
esa
bond.
razón estoy en contra de.
I have no information on the
No
embezzlement.
tengo ninguna
I
información
attempted to
en
get a hold
apropiarse.
of the sheriff's office there. They were unable to give me any information.
Sí la llamo, pero
They-
no pudieron dar
They
información.
did set an in-state county bond for $112,000.
112,000
Never-
dólares.
Always something new.
That's why I said if we have more time, then I will win by default because he will get picked up tomorrow.
Porque los van a-
Have you run an
I
NCIC?
did nothing else, Judge.
Fonz?
If I may, Judge, so first of all, my client works
Primeramente, mi
as a
cliente
truck driver,
trabaja como
CDL.
conductor
That kind of goes
de
with
camión.
the charge that he is being charged with embezzlement. He was supposedly given something, charged with something, and
Acusaron de algo.
there's an argument that, hey, somebody didn't get their property back or
Alguien no
something.
recibió su propiedad.
He has a great argument for it. They showed me some
Me mostraron
emails back and forth between
correos
him and the
electrónicos
dispatch
entre
showing
él
that
y el despachador
the possible
diciendo
bail for property
que la fianza
made
por
it
sí
to
la
where
propiedad.
it's supposed to be. They've contacted a
Han
lawyer
dado
out in
presupuesto.
Creek
Han
County.
contactado a un abogado
He's got no
en
criminal
County.
history.
No
He's a
tiene
resident.
antecedentes criminales,
There's no flight
residente,
risk. He
no
hasn't
hay
been here
riesgos, no
before.
hubiese-
Now,
pero
I
aquí
understand
anterior.
the predicament
Entiendo
that somebody might
que
be
alguien
expending travel time and things like that, but my client's in jail. And so that means a lot to me, and I hope it means a lot to the court. Because he's got no previous fugitive cases and he hasn't messed up in your court, I would ask that he be allowed to go turn himself in, and he's got a plan to do that. I asked him, hey, what's the difference between waiting for Oklahoma? And it's easy for me to say because I'm not in there. I think we'd be in a different position if we had to wait.
You know, there's transportation. They're ready to come pick them up. Whereas one of the things that I'm going to require, I'm going to tell you now, is that his passport be surrendered so I know that he's not gonna, take off and that he's can't go international. Mr. Kim, I think that's,
And unfortunately, I wish I had more facts to give you. I mean, especially with the consideration of bond for the embezzlement, it could be a couple $100, it could be $3 million. I have truly no idea what the level of, because I don't know what's in the
this is a
cargo.
teletype say, doesn't tell.
It just says felony embezzlement. I don't know what the cargo is that he allegedly mishandled, for lack of a better word. I truly don't know, and that's why I have a difficult time, other than that argument.
If you want, I will, but I want the passport first.
Let me ask you if he's got access to the passport. ¿Tienes el pasaporte donde lo puedes entregar?
El pasaporte está en mi casa.
A tu casa.
Yo tengo mi residencia en los papeles como en la billetera mía. Tengo mi residencia.
Okay, pero después quiere el pasaporte. No sería difícil para que ellos vayan.
Let's do it. I guess I'm gonna let you talk because I don't want to I don't want him to say something,
Well, he is a resident. He is a resident. So if we have proof of that.
I don't know that.
Well, if we have proof of that, would you?
He could be Bugs Bunny for all I know. How do I know?
For what it's worth, I don't believe this particular, and other than the irony of, because it's a fugitive case, I don't believe he is an international flight risk, because nothing in the teletype or for the information I have concerns with, but it's just obviously him not returning to Oklahoma in the first place. That was my concern, because it's guaranteed.
He's not a flight risk. His wife is here, his wife lives here in Houston. I think his son, tu hijo o quién está afuera, un bebé, es tu hijo.
You want to surrender the,
Mi sobrino.
Okay, his cousin is here. The cousin's husband works with him in the trucking company that they have. And so they're all here saying it's the mistake. They're here supporting him. He is not a flight risk because his family's here. And his company's here. It's just one of those situations where he needs to figure this out and recount.
Assuming it's a one-day transport, because it was probably a two-day transport here, is he goes up one day and he still has to make the bond, the $112,000 in Oklahoma. That hasn't changed. And so, unless they argue for it up there. So either way, I don't think the time difference will be an issue because he'll be taken into custody whenever he self-surrenders.
so here, the deal is this, Mr. Diepa, is that
Esto es la situación, señor.
we give people one shot to do the right thing when you have a fugitive case. If you want me to set you a bond, I will. It has to be sufficiently high so that you know we are serious and that we expect you to go turn yourself in. We give you 2 weeks from the date of your release to go either turn yourself in or post bond in that jurisdiction. And if you do, this fugitive case against you gets dismissed. You're old enough to know that actions have consequences. And if you fail to do this, if you fail to go turn yourself in, if you fail to post bond or in that jurisdiction, then I will revoke the bond here. I will set it at 0. You will not get another one. I will get a hold of you. And this time I will hold you here until Oklahoma comes and gets you. Do you understand?
¿Entiende?
We have a lot of people here. You already know that Oklahoma is going to come here tomorrow to come pick you up. A lot of times we have people, instead of paying the money to get out, save it to be able to hire a lawyer or post bond in that jurisdiction because you still have to post bond over there, which is over $100,000. Here, if you post bond here, because it's a fugitive case, you are an inherent flight risk. So you will have to post most, if not all of the bond to be able to get out. Do you understand?
Yes.
What do you think of bond?
It's hard to say because I don't know the severity of the embezzlement, but
I mean, it's got to be high enough so that he knows we're in business, right?
I was going to say, so with the distance of it and the age, I'd say 7,500.
Judge, I asked for 2,500.
All right, I'll split the puppy.
Yes, Judge.
The bond is set at $5,000. You know what's expected of you. You know the consequence of your failure to act. I'm not going to play this game with you again. Do you understand? All right.
Yes, yes.
Good luck. Has he already waived?
No, and so if you want to,
He has.
oh, sorry, he did waive, so he didn't refuse. My bad. Yes.
So we'll
How much time did he have under his belt?
15th, so 3 days.
Okay, so if he does, we'll need the waiver
Well, yeah.
or the withdrawal
So
waiver.
he can make that bond?
Tiene que hacer.
My understanding is yes, let me confirm with him,
Okay,
just one more time.
I'll stand down. Thank you, Judge.
Así como-
Thanks for watching. Stick around longer and click the highlighted videos to your right. See you there.